Solomon that said that knowledge is of more value than gold. But what are some things that we can actually know and be sure of? That the earth is a sphere, or technically an oblate spheroid. If I toss a regular coin, I'll either get a head or a tail, and we will never get back time that has already passed. When we open up the Bible, there are plenty of things that we can read and know and be sure of, such as King David had a son called Solomon. Moses had a fear of public speaking, and Jesus had 12 disciples. But there are plenty of other parts of the Bible where we just don't have enough knowledge or the capacity to understand what's happening fully. The Nephilim fall into this category of perplexing passages. There are many theories on what and who the Nephilim are. Descendants of fallen angels, offspring of tyrant kings, giants or mighty warriors. But there's just not quite enough information in the Bible for us to argue and know each of these things for sure. What we do know is that when the Nephilim existed, there was much sin in the world, and the Nephilim were part of that wickedness. The Nephilim were on the earth in those days when the sons of God went to the daughters of humans and had children by them. The world was in a mess, and the Nephilim were a part of that mess. Everyone seemed to be in disobedience to God, and instead of the world being filled with God's love, it was being filled with violence instead. Left to their own devices, the world at this time appears to be without hope. And the result of this is that God's heart was greatly saddened. As we read on in the Bible, we see of God's judgment through the flood, where all was destroyed except for Noah and his family. Thankfully, despite the uncertainty of the exact identity of the Nephilim and our own sin and failures, we can have absolute hope in Jesus and his forgiveness. And this hope is something in which we can have absolute certainty.